Well, the challenge or focus is the Ten of Wands. So it's just, you got a lot to do. This is either at work, at home, hard work. A lot going on here. A lot of irons in the fire. Your challenge here may be to kind of, keep all these balls in the air, but it's exciting stuff. I feel like it's good stuff. It's new projects, things you're really excited about, feeling positive about, happy about. Because there's a lot of luck surrounding all of these projects or all of these things you have going on, or this is going to lead to a reward at the end. The tens are the end of a cycle, so it could be that you're completing a project, you're completing a cycle, completing a phase, and are really excited about finishing, even though it's hard work, because you know it's going to be the result or the reward. It's going to be worth it here. The Ten of Wands can often show up as a challenge when there's a need to delegate. You know, maybe you can't do everything. You can't feasibly do everything or handle everything on your own, Leo, and you need to kind of give other people jobs or give the kids chores, right? Or let the kids do the grocery shopping, or, you know, give them or give others more to do, or just your team. If you're like a team lead or a boss, or if it's your employees, you know, you may need to kind of put more on their plate during the busy season. This could also be the energy of, we're making good money. The business is making good money. We're bringing in new customers, bringing in a lot of business, but it's hard work keeping up, or we got to keep getting new stock in, or we have to really keep them coming back, right? And you're exhausted at the end of the day here. So now, for some of you, your challenge could be to keep busy, right? Maybe you're feeling like you've got all this energy, but nothing to do. So maybe there's, this could be kind of like, oh, I was going to take a staycation, but now I'm 2 days into it and I'm bored. And you're like, you know, maybe there's, for some of you, maybe it's a forced hiatus. Maybe it's just a slow time on the business front, and you're like, well, I really need to find a project to pour this energy into, or I need to be thinking about when business picks up again, planning for that. But yeah, there could be just a difficulty in narrowing down your focus and focusing on one thing for some of you. Now, the energy in the present, so for some of you, this will be what's going on in the present when you're watching this video. For others of you, it could be end of June into early July, since we are focusing on July. We've got the Queen of Wands in reverse. So this is fire sign energy like you. It could be another Leo, an Aries, a Sag, or it could be you, Leo. But in the reverse, this is like just energy in the extreme, but just feeling really antsy, having anxiety, or just an overabundance of energy. This can also be someone who is causing drama, starting drama. In the reverse, this energy can be a troublemaking energy, chaotic energy. They live their lives always at the height of drama, and so wherever they go, drama tends to follow. You know, so for some of you, this could be your partner, your husband, your wife. These court cards can be either male or female when they show up in these general readings. So this could be, for some of you, it could be your mom, because we do have the rune of mother here, but I feel like this is kind of more connected up here. But yeah, this could be somebody trying to reconnect. It could be somebody you've been separated from, or an ex, somebody wanting to get back together. It could be somebody that at work, or a boss that you used to work for. Maybe you're getting rotated, or now you're working for them again, and you're like, oh my God, I don't know, work for that person again. It's just such a, you know, everything is the end of the world. It's always the end of the world with this person. She can also be a bit of a pain. It's a pain in the butt kind of energy, this person. It's all about them and what they want, and they're not very empathetic. They really don't give much of a crap about other people. Just the way that energy is in the reverse. So this could be somebody, I feel like with Esau here, this is somebody you've lost contact with, or maybe there's been a communication breakdown. You may still be living together if it is a partner, but if there has been no communication, you're not connecting, because you no longer maybe want to connect with this energy. Or Leo, if this may be how your partner's feeling about you, again, these energies can always work. For some of you, it's you. For others of you, it's someone else. But it would be someone very close to you, I feel, living with you, or who used to live with you, or that you used to be involved with in a partnership. And, it could be that you lost touch, you've been divorced for a long time, or you haven't spoken to this person in a long time. And then in July, lo and behold, you're hearing from them again, or they're showing up again, or, old issues are coming up again. And they're trying to start their same old dramas again, or the same old argument is coming up again. But this time, if it happened, especially in that time frame, end of June, early July, this could be the last time. You could just be sick of it here, Leo, and be telling someone, you know what, we just need to call it quits here, or, we just need to make this severance of ties permanent. Now, the help that's going to be available to you, you do have the Three of Cups in reverse. So for some of you, this isn't like someone trying to reconnect, someone trying to reunite, someone, maybe even promising that this time it will be different, this time it will be new. They've changed, or, we should give it another go. And this card in reverse is saying that this is a bad idea. This is not going to work. And you may be tempted, though, with Bjork to give it another go, to reconnect, especially if it is like mother, father, sister. I mean, if it's someone that you're like related to by blood, maybe you used to be close when you were younger, something of that nature. Or, especially with a parent, those are important relationships, right? But sometimes we don't always get the best people in those roles, unfortunately. So I think this is just your thought process here for most of you, particularly if this is mom or one of your children, Leo, even. I mean, it's unfortunate, but if it is somebody who just won't help themselves, who are always causing chaos and drama and wrecking your life, or stealing your money, or, they have bad habits and they bring them into your house, and they hang around with bad people and they bring them into your house. I mean, you got to have boundaries, even with your own kids here. So I feel like some of you, it's either a parent or a child, because that's the energy I'm getting here. It could be a mother-in-law. It could be a grandmother even, or grandfather, but we've got the rune of mother here. So a mother figure or an older female figure. It's a bad idea to reconnect, so you're not going to. Even though you're kind of like, I wish this could be fixed. I wish you could be the person I need. Or I wish things could be different. I wish I could believe you, but that this is like not. And for some of you, it may be that you are, okay, we can, we don't have to not talk ever, but there's got to be boundaries, and it's not going to be the way it was. And I'm not going to, basically we're not going to be close. There's not going to be like an all-in reconnection, but we can be civil. And as long as you're civil with me and treat you with respect and don't cross my boundaries, you could be saying this to somebody, Leo, and someone else could be saying this to you. And the reason that would be a help is because then okay, I got to color in the lines, right? If you're the one that maybe misbehaved or hurt someone. And same thing if it's them. There's B for boundaries, right? Okay, we can move forward here. We can try like kind of this truce. But it's not going to ever be like, we're super close, or... And for some of you, especially if it's a parent or your child, you may be kind of like, well, whatever, I'll take whatever I can get. Or you may be like, that's not good enough, depending on what this person has done in the past. Again, that's when a private reading would be necessary, because that would break down who this is and what specifically happened and what specifically would be happening in the future. But for most of you, what I'm seeing is if you're reuniting with somebody, it will definitely be tentative. I would definitely have strong boundaries, and certainly it's not going to be super chummy or warm. So if that's what you're needing from the relationship, it may not even be worth it for you. Let's see if I'm getting it. Seems like something else was trying to come through with that. Let me see for a second. Let's see if it comes back. What must be accepted about the month of July? We've got the Seven of Cups in reverse. So what was once clouded or obscured or confusing, maybe something you didn't want to accept, because in the upright, this is about idealism, right? We've idealized a relationship. We've idealized a person because of who they are, because they're our parent, because they were our kid, because they were our mate, or because we were in love with them. We had love's, rose-colored glasses on. We were seeing what we wanted to see and not who someone really was. July seems like you're getting a very clear kind of disruptive. There seems to be an argument due to either someone's idealizing you, Leo, and we're all just people, right? We all have our flaws. Either someone's saying to you, I can't live with this, or you are saying that to someone else. And if it's you, I feel like for most of you, it's you saying it to someone else. But again, it's a relief. It's just like, because with this, I feel like it's like, oh, I got to tackle that. I really need to, I'm going to be so much happier if I can put this burden down, this relationship, these feelings that are burdening me. I'm going to feel so much better if I can just lose this situation. For others of you, it could be that these, are related. Like this is a boss and you're just like, oh, I got to get out of here. I got to leave this job. I got to go, But I feel like for most of you, you're kind of losing yourself in your work with this to kind of get away from and avoid dealing with this personal situation, this relationship situation, your home situation. And at some point in July, I do feel like you're having trouble focusing, though, and getting everything done at work because it's just too much going on. But it does seem like in order to avoid maybe the personal life, you're losing yourself in your work. You're really like throwing yourself into that and scheduling at all hours. And just because maybe you don't want to go home or you don't want to have time to kind of think about the dynamics and think about this relationship or deal with this person if they live in your house. So, but at some point in July, you're not going to be able to keep up the ruse here, Leo. It's just, you're going to have to deal with it. So, you're going to have to, but you may just be like, oh, if I can just get through July because I've got so much to do at work. The universe seems to have other plans, but it is going to be a relief because it's like, oh, putting that behind me, but it does seem like there may be one big blow up or an argument, disagreement, someone showing up unannounced, unexpected, or you kind of storming out or needing a place to stay or, going to a hotel for a few days. It does seem like someone's going somewhere else, leaving in a huff, leaving in a chaotic after an argument, and very childish and disappointing behavior, even though you've seen it before. This particular, again, last straw. We're at the last straw here with something, Leo. It's the straw that broke the camel's back. This is a burden, a heavy burden to carry. And in July, I feel like many of you maybe were supposed to put this down quite some time ago. And in July, if you haven't done so, some of you may have already done so because, again, these readings have about a 3-month window. So, because you're not all going through the same energies at the same time, that would be impossible. There's just too many people watching. So, for many of you, maybe this already happened in June. Those of you that are still dealing with this situation and doing the avoid, blinders, I'll deal with that later. If you're watching this on the June side, I would go ahead and get it out of the way. Rip that Band-Aid off, because if you don't, in July, it seems like things come to a head, and it's going to be the same result, but it's kind of like you can just get it over with, right? Get it over with and move on, move forward. But a disappointing fit is what I'm feeling, thrown by someone. And in some cases, Leo, it could be you, but I really feel like this is you dealing with it because you're the one trying to escape, right? You're trying to keep busy so you don't have to look at this. You don't have to deal with this. The outcome is good, though. You got the Two of Wands. So the outcome of July is, we've been disappointed, but we've gotten... Work looks fantastic. I mean, as far as like work opportunities, creative opportunities, you may be getting news of 2 options at the end of July for promotion, for new jobs that would come with a pay raise. You may be able to negotiate salary. And because you have 2 options, if one is disappointing with Munyo here in reverse, it seems like you got another one on the table almost immediately or even at the same time. And so the Two of Wands is making a decision. Anytime we have a 2, we usually have a choice to make, or some sort of opportunity being offered to us to link up with someone. And for you, it seems to be in finance, with job, career, promotion. Again, maybe this is what you were working toward. Like, once I finish this project, I know I'm in line for this promotion, or I know I'm getting this raise, or I know I'm getting this bonus. And I mean, work and opportunities, they look good in it, but it seems like personal life, and maybe personal life has suffered. Maybe the relationship, this distance has grown. This person has been acting out because you're never there, Leo. Maybe they're saying that to you. You're always at work. You're a workaholic. I never see you. You don't make time for us. You don't make time for me, the family, whatever. You said you'd go to this event with me and you're not, this family event, because now you always have to work. So for some of you, you may need to consider, Leo, the truth in that, because it does seem you're overworking, and that's where all of your focus is. And you've got a goal in mind, but whenever we're throwing all of our focus into one area of life, another area is going to suffer. That's just the way it is. Balance is the goal, but few of us can maintain that for a long period of time, because there's just usually one area of life that requires more of our attention and focus and energy, right? And for you in July, it seems to be work, but that could be, again, work's up here, but personal life is sunk way down here. And because it's kind of a hostile environment, because people are resenting this, you don't want to be there, or you don't want to, you'd rather be at work because it feels better, right? The energy just feels better, and you are being appreciated there. So that's what I see here, Leo. There's some stuff that needs your attention. I think you need to make a decision here about a relationship. Am I going to let someone back in? Am I going to stay with somebody? Am I going to, talk to this person again? Am I going to, tentatively reunite but have boundaries? Seems like a lot of things need to be hashed out, though. And it could get a little heated at times. But, that may be what it needs to be for you to make your decision, right? Someone says, oh, no, I've changed. And then, storms off in a huff, just like they did last time when you disagree with them. Well, then there's your answer. And disappointing as it may be, at least you'll have an answer.